Hey guys, I'm a bit remorseful today because of some bad news I just received today. More when I return on the Eric McNeil Be Free Show.
Black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Hey guys, welcome. You've just discovered the Eric McNeil Be Free Show, where it's all about being financially independent, responsible for self, enjoying life, and empowering others free. So today I want to share with you a bit of bad news I received, but before we do, go ahead, if you like what we're talking about, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, and always give me your feedback. And you can also reach me on Facebook at facebook.com/Eric McNeil is free. So at any rate, I received a message, email from the National Alumni Association at Florida A&M University saying that the past president, Dr. Frederick S. Humphries, had passed away at the age of 85. And it just brought back so many memories, I am fortunate enough to have, first of all, went to Florida A&M University, and I'm a rattler at heart. I bleed orange and green, and so it was definitely one of the best decisions I ever made in my life to attend that school. And I'm also fortunate enough to have went during the tenure of Dr. Frederick S. Humphries, who is the 8th president of Florida A&M University. So I'm, definitely saddened by the news. And here's a couple of, this is my National Alumni Association life members. So Florida A&M University National Alumni Association recognizes Eric McNeil as a life member. Distinction reserved for those whose outstanding generosity perpetuates programs of academic excellence. So that's one of my plaques there from Florida A&M University. I have to, you're supposed to pay your dues each year. I have to update my dues. Sometimes I go a few years without paying my dues, and then I have to update them. So, and here's another larger plaque that they gave me in 2000, and this was the Florida A&M University Entrepreneurial Spirit Award, presented to Eric McNeil, President, New Technology Network Services Incorporated, for supporting your alma mater and for the courage and innovation demonstrated in creating a business enterprise in the new competitive global market environment. December 1st, 2000, Frederick S. Humphries, President, Florida A&M University. So that's another award that I'm proud of. So they have definitely gotten a lot of money from me, buddy. But I'm happy to be able to contribute because they have done so much for me. I can't even begin to describe. And some of you who have read some of my Facebook posts, and I may have mentioned it on a video in the past, that when I first went to attend Florida A&M University, I did not even meet the criteria to get into the school, and they had to allow me in on an exception policy. So, I'll go into detail on that whole story. That's a whole nother story in and of itself. So maybe on another video I'll go into the detail of that. But I did get in, and I ended up graduating magna cum laude with a degree in computer information systems in 1995. And part of that was due to men such as Dr. Frederick S. Humphries, who just instilled such confidence in the student body, right? I mean, you know, I was just in awe with Dr. Humphries. I mean, he just made you believe that you could achieve anything. And because you believed it, you went on to do it. I mean, when even before I graduated, I had just become, like they say, a boss in my chosen field. I was a beast in the computer and IT world, right? I was one of the first students from Florida A&M University to intern with Microsoft. And during that time, if you had Microsoft on your resume, you could go and work anywhere in the IT industry. It was, you know, the pinnacle of just making it. So you had Microsoft on your resume. All doors were open to you. And I had the privilege of going to Microsoft, I guess around 1994 or so. And, you know, and I don't necessarily agree with what Bill Gates is doing these days, but back then I had great respect for the man. And I was able to go to his home, and as most of the interns were invited to his home, and you'd have lunch with him, and, you know, you get to chat with him. And, you know, and I went through that routine. So I had great respect for Bill Gates back then, but they came, I guess, well, Dr. Humphries went to Microsoft and many other corporations, and he told the CEOs to come recruit our students. Y'all come to our Florida A&M and we'll show you that our students can compete with any student from any school that you can find. And so a lot of them took him up on his offer, and they came. And so I was in the bunch where, you know, I was one of the people that went to Microsoft that got an opportunity. And Dr. Humphries was very good friends with the chairman of my department. And so, you know, they were good buddies and in the same fraternity. And so, you know, so he was like, you know, you go over there and you see the president. He want to see you. And, you know, I went over there, and the president was like, hey, he had me and a few other people, and he said that he wanted us to consider working and interning at some specific companies that he wanted to impress. And for me, it was Microsoft, but I had already interviewed with Microsoft and had already determined that that's where I was going, so that was an easy choice. But I had, like, I could have went anywhere, just anywhere, because of the education that I received at FAMU. All doors were open, and even when I graduated, I had at least 25 job offers, and maybe 30 or more. You know, the reason I didn't have more is because I couldn't possibly do that many interviews. I still had to do my schoolwork. So when you go do these interviews, a lot of times you would have to travel. You had to fly or whatever, and a lot of them I was able to just interview and get job offers at the Career Center, but some of them required you to actually fly and travel, and so I was traveling all over the country, and so I had interviews and job offers for years. They were just totally impressed with the caliber of students that they were finding at Florida A&M University, and in the School of Business and Industry, in College of Pharmacy, computer information systems. I mean, we could literally just write our own tickets. It was just wow. And when I was at FAMU, I did 3 internships while I was at FAMU. One of those internships was with US West Advanced Technologies, Microsoft, and AT&T. Any of those 3 on your resume opened up the door for you to go anywhere, basically. And I had 3, just boom, boom, boom. If you don't know, US West was like, I guess back in '84, whenever the government split up AT&T into what they called the baby Bell companies, they split them up, and one of those companies that they split them up was like Bell South, you know, in the southern region. Then you had US West Communications out west, and AT&T used to have a research and development arm called Bell Labs. And this is where some of the smartest people in technology would work at the research and development arm called Bell Labs. So when they split them up into these smaller companies, US West Advanced Technologies was the research and development arm of US West Communications. So I interned at US West Advanced Technologies, which was the research and development arm. And just like at Microsoft, they absolutely loved me. So we had a very good relationship with US West Communications and US West Advanced Technologies. And then, of course, when I went to Microsoft, absolutely loved me. In fact, every time the president would see me, he would refer to me as, you know, my Microsoft guy, as my Microsoft man. Now, boy, he was so happy after I came back from interning with Microsoft, because they told him they wanted to recruit me before I even graduated. And I told them, no, I'm going back to get my degree. But they was like, well, Bill Gates doesn't have a degree. Why should you go back and get one? Stay here now. But yeah, the chairman of the CIS department used to, you know, he was excited because it made him look good. And they had a plaque in the CIS department with my name on it, and it's like the Microsoft. So they was like, you know, you started something big. We got this plaque, and every student that interned with Microsoft, we're gonna put on this plaque. I don't know if they still got it up there, but it was interesting, boy, because that intern with Microsoft just meant the world to Dr. Humphries. And I like to think that, hey, you know, I opened up that door for, you know, both US West Advanced Technologies and Microsoft. And I also interned at AT&T, which later, that division I interned became part of NCR. But, you know, wherever I went, you know, I left a good impression. And I don't know if it was me that's responsible for this, but I'll tell you this. Now think about this. I interned, you know, 93 to 94. You know, I interned with the US West Advanced Technologies and Microsoft. All right? Now listen to this. John W. Thompson, who also graduated from Florida A&M University, and he went on to MIT. When I graduated in 1995, John Thompson was over he was, I believe, the chairman of the FAMU industry cluster. And when they came in 1995, I was on the program to give a speech about what the internet was going to mean to society, right? Because in 1995, nobody really understood the internet, you know, so unless you was just really into it, you didn't understand it. You didn't understand where it was going to go. So when I gave that speech, people were just absolutely amazed. And John Thompson, he was at IBM at the time, and he tried to lure me. He wanted me to come to IBM. And he's like, you should come to IBM, work, at IBM. And, and I didn't go. But later on, John Thompson became the chairman of Microsoft around 2000. Now, I don't know, but I like to believe that I helped open that door for John Thompson to become the chairman of Microsoft, because they were in love. After I left, they were in love with FAMU students. I tell you that, boy. They were absolutely excited about FAMU. And so I like to think that, hey, maybe I had something to do with that. Now, and if that's not enough now get this. You say, well, no, that's just a coincidence. Well, get this, Frederick Humphries Frederick Humphries Jr. I guess he's probably about my age, for Fred Humphries, But he went to Morehouse, and he didn't go to FAMU. He went to Morehouse, right? Didn't necessarily want to be right there with his dad going to FAMU. But at any rate, he went on to work for U.S. West Communications. I want you to listen. And after he worked for U.S. West Communications, he went on to become an officer at Microsoft. Two companies that I had long interned with, left a great impression, opened up the door for them to come in. Now, I don't know if I opened up those doors. I'm just saying that I started it all, right? So, yeah, so I'm definitely excited that we had left such a great impression. Mission accepted. It's like mission accomplished. I knew some guys that went to Florida State University, which is right around the corner from Florida A&M University. And I would be telling them about all the corporations that are part of the Florida A&M University industry cluster that would be recruiting. And we would, the school would rent out the whole civic center, just full of corporations. And you'd just be getting job offers on the spot. And I'd be telling these guys from FSU, and a couple white guys that I knew went to FSU, and I'd be like, man, yeah, Microsoft, I interned with Microsoft this summer. I'm going to see who I'm interning. They were like, what? You interned with Microsoft? How did you get an intern with Microsoft? I said, they came to our school and recruited me. I said, they're part of our industry cluster. It's like, what? Why is Microsoft coming to FAMU? They don't come to FSU. I said, no, they don't. And, people couldn't understand that, man, FAMU just had it going on under the leadership of Frederick S. Humphries. Man, FAMU was just rising. I think it said when Frederick S. Humphries, he served as the president of FAMU for 16 years. He came in 1985, and he retired in 2001. And under his leadership, the student enrollment at FAMU grew from like 5,100 students to over 12,000. So over double, he increased the student enrollment. And he had students, he had the smartest students, the African-American, like national, I guess they call them national achievement scholars or national merit scholars, which is like considered the smartest black students in the nation. Man, he just had them coming in droves to FAMU. He would offer them these Life Gets Better scholarships where he would say, I'm going to pay for everything. Come to FAMU, everything is paid for. And man, they started coming, and then he would go to the corporation, tell them, we got the smartest students, come recruit our students. And so he just created this whole system where the smartest students were coming in, they were getting jobs like boom, they could just write their own ticket. It was wild, you know, it was wild. I graduated in 1995. Like I say, you could just literally just write your own ticket, and that 2 years later, in 1997, I think it was the Time Princeton magazine, they had selected Florida A&M University as the Princeton College of the Year, beating out Harvard and Yale and all the other Ivy League schools, because we were just killing it. And that all came under the leadership of Frederick S. Humphries. I mean, he was just a consummate business person, strategist, leader. He just understood how to make things work. And you just believed in him. You just believed in him, man. You go and hear him speak, and he just make you believe that, like I say, you could just do anything. And when it came to speaking, I haven't heard many people that could rival Dr. Humphries when he did a speech. Perhaps one of the people that I've heard who could rival Dr. Frederick S. Humphries is Barack Obama. That was probably one of the few people that I heard that could speak, and move you as well as Dr. Humphries. But it was an amazing time at Florida A&M University, and I'm just, thankful, that I was able to be influenced by him. So it's amazing. It was an amazing time back then, and so I'm definitely a bit saddened today at the news. And he lived a nice long life, but anytime you hear news like that, it definitely is emotional for you. So at any rate, I'm just here, going back down memory lane and just thinking about all the ways in which Dr. Humphries and even other men, not only men but women too, but for a male, that male influence is vitally important, and I'm thankful to have had a lot of strong male influences, from Florida A&M University and other places in my life. So I'm very thankful, and I'm very fortunate. And and I just pray that his soul rests in peace, and I pray for the family, because he has truly left behind a magnificent legacy. Magnificent. So, there's a song that says, "May the work I've done speak for me." And he is an example that the work he has done is speaking for him. You go and look at what the campus is today, and it's been a long time since I've been on campus, but even from the last time, the years that I visited, there's just so much growth on that campus, just absolutely amazing, just like whoosh. And so, he was responsible for helping to get the law school reinstated at Florida A&M University, and just so much that he has accomplished, in his lifetime, in his career, that I can't even begin to tell you how significant that man was to Florida A&M University and to the lives that he impacted, such as myself. Just, like I say, he just made you believe it, and because you believed it, you went out and achieved it, right? I'm a perfect example, and when I entered the business world, I didn't realize how well prepared I was. And I was I gotta say, I was a boss in the computer networking field. They knew that if that was like the most urgent of urgent problems with your computer network, then you called Eric McNeil. Like, you know, just wasn't no better person to call, you know, so it was Eric McNeil. So, yeah, so, you know, but that was instilling just that, you know, he's like, I mentioned Benjamin E. Mays, who was like the 6th president of Morehouse, who has this quote that I absolutely love that says, "Strive to do what you do so well that no man living, no man dead, or no man yet born can do it any better." And that sentiment that Benjamin E. Mays expressed is the same sentiment that Dr. Frederick Humphries believed in. He believed that you should be excellent at what you do. And in fact, his motto was excellence with caring. So when he came to FAMU, that's what he made the motto, excellence with caring. And they treated you like family, right? They expected you to be excellent, but they cared for you and nurtured you, gave you the tools to be successful. And if you ever had the privilege of attending a FAMU football game where Dr. Humphries was speaking, then you know he used to always end his speeches with these words here. And you'd hear the marching 100, the FAMU marching 100 start to do the drum roll, and Dr. Humphries would end his speeches by saying, "When the dark clouds gather on the horizon, when thunder and lightning pierce the skies, when fate is but a glare in the eye of a fallen rattler, and hope a lost friend, when the sinew of the chest grows weary from those hard-charging linebackers, and the muscles in the legs grow tired from those hard-charging running backs, you must always remember the rattlers will strike, strike, and strike again." Again, may his soul rest in peace. My name is Eric McNeil, and this is the Eric McNeil Be Free Show. Oorah, ahuru, now be free.
The dark clouds gather on the horizon, when thunder and lightning pierce the sky, when fate but a glint in the eye of a fallen rattler, and hope a lost friend, when the sinew of the chest